Grand Maester Pycelle resumed.
Lastly, in these times of treason and turmoil, with our beloved Robert so lately dead, it is the view of the Council that the life and safety of King Joffrey is of paramount importance.
He looked to the Queen. Cersei stood. Ser Barristan Selmy, stand forth. Ser Barristan had been standing at the foot of the Iron Throne as still as any statue. But now he went to one knee and bowed his head.
Your Grace, I am yours to command.
Rise, Ser Barristan, Cersei Lannister said. You may remove your helm.
My lady?
Standing, the old knight took off his high white helm, though he did not seem to understand why. You have served the realm long and faithfully, good sir, and every man and woman in the 7 kingdoms owes you thanks. Yet now I fear your service is at an end. It is the wish of king and council that you lay down your heavy burden.
My burden, I fear I do not...
The new-made Lord, Janos Slynt, spoke up, his voice heavy and blunt.
Her Grace is trying to tell you that you are relieved as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard.
The tall, white-haired knight seemed to shrink as he stood there, scarcely breathing.
Your Grace, he said at last, the Kingsguard is a sworn brotherhood. Our vows are taken for life. Only death may relieve the Lord Commander of his sacred trust.
Whose death, Ser Barristan? The Queen's voice was soft as silk, but her words carried the whole length of the hall. Yours or the King's?
You let my father die,
Joffrey said accusingly from atop the Iron Throne.
You're too old to protect anybody.
Sansa watched as the knight peered up at his new king. She had never seen him look his years before, yet now he did.
Your Grace, he said, I was chosen for the White Swords in my 23rd year. It was all I had ever dreamed. From the moment I first took sword in hand, I gave up all claim to my ancestral keep. The girl I was to wed married my cousin in my place. I had no need of land or sons. My life would be lived for the realm. Sir Gerald Hightower himself heard my vows to ward the king with all my strength, to give my blood for his. I fought beside the White Bull and Prince Lewin of Dorne, beside Sir Arthur Dane, the Sword of the Morning. Before I served your father, I helped shield King Aerys and his father, Jaehaerys, before him. 3 kings.
And all of them dead, Littlefinger pointed out. Your time is done, Cersei Lannister announced. Joffrey requires men around him who are young and strong. The Council has determined that Sir Jaime Lannister will take your place as the Lord Commander of Sworn Brothers of the White Swords.
The Kingslayer?
Ser Barristan said, his voice hard with contempt.
The false knight who profaned his blade with the blood of the king he had sworn to defend?
Have a care for your words, sir, the Queen warned. You are speaking of our beloved brother, your king's own blood. Lord Varys spoke, gentler than the others.
We are not unmindful of your service, good sir. Lord Tywin Lannister has generously agreed to grant you a handsome tract of land north of Lannisport, beside the sea, with gold and men sufficient to build you a stout keep, and servants to see to your every need.
Ser Barristan looked up sharply.
A hall to die in, and men to bury me. I thank you, my lords, but I spit upon your pity.
He reached up and undid the clasps that held his cloak in place, and the heavy white garment slithered from his shoulders to fall in a heap on the floor. His helmet dropped with a clang.
I am a knight, he told them.
He opened the silver fastenings of his breastplate and let that fall as well.
I shall die a knight.
A naked knight, it would seem, quipped Littlefinger. They all laughed then. Joffrey on his throne, and the lords standing attendants, Jaina Slint, and Queen Cersei, and Sandor Clegane, and even the other men of the King's Guard, the 5 who had been his brothers until a moment ago. Surely that must have hurt the most, Sansa thought. Her heart went out to the gallant old man as he stood shamed and red-faced, too angry to speak. Finally, he drew his sword. Sansa heard someone gasp. Ser Boros and Ser Meryn moved forward to confront him, but Ser Barristan froze them in place with a look that dripped contempt.
Have no fear, sirs. Your king is safe. No thanks to you. Even now, I could cut through the 5 of you as easy as a dagger cuts cheese. If you would serve under the Kingslayer, not a one of you is fit to wear the white.
He flung his sword at the foot of the Iron Throne.
Here, boy, melt it down and add it to the others if you like. It will do you more good than the swords in the hands of these 5. Perhaps Lord Stannis will chance to sit on it when he takes your throne.